All right, I just want you to look at those. These words. You know, and see, truthfully, you know, it's all here. You know, and where does all this go? Seriously. It goes to right there. It goes to here, to the brain. You know? And this is just, I'm just putting this up here and showing you how conditioning to right here, how it's repeat over and over and over and over and over and over. It doesn't matter what it is. Or radio. It doesn't matter. Because even on here it's, you know, they trust science. And that's what, you got religious people saying that now. Christian, it doesn't matter who it is. They're all saying it. The ones running along with everything. You know, but see, before this, we got to go back. You know, we got to go back before even this. To that, but because before that, it was newspapers and books that did the indoctrinating of the masses. It's how you control people. And it's truthfully this. It goes back. It goes back always to here. All roads lead to where? Right there. You know, but once this hit, basically, this technology was there. It's been there in some way, shape, or form, but not like that. But they use the ether. Like, you know, with the right natural elements put together, you know, they say you can communicate from here to China without none of that. And see, but this is a control. This is man stuff. There was a world before what we're in right now. Okay, it's like a reset. Okay, now follow me. You know, you're going to have to get into World's Fairs, orphan trains, baby factories, you know, the Odd Fellas, if you're in the club, you know, the Odd Fellas supposedly funded all these orphanages, but all these orphanages were like castles, even for the insane people. You know, they locked them up. But see, listen, the World's Fairs, when we're talking about a reset in history, when you burn a city down, out of those ashes, the people's morale is going to be down. Like when you really burn a huge city down, because all of them burn. World's Fairs and all that shit. You know, crazy earthquakes and stuff. Well, you're just like any man-made war. The people are going to be down. Their brain is damaged from whatever they've been getting in them at whatever point in time. And out of those ashes, you're going to have this sitting over there. Oh, yeah, because they're right behind it. Big church. And out of those ashes, you know, those people are going to be wanting some kind of inspiration, so to speak. Well, there's the only one place to go to. That's it. So, in the orphans, you know, trains and all this, and they populate these cities, you know, from the way I gathered, you know, because these structures had been there. So they repopulate these cities, you know, because they took kids from families, Mexican children, Indian, and put them into indoctrination schools, which you're in now. And then put the parents in insane asylums. You know, now not everywhere, but enough to where they can get to where we are now. And then sane asylums and the orphanages were old, huge structures, castles. You know, these families had a meeting, or whoever runs it, and said, we're getting rid of the whole world, all the old world technology, and out of it we're going to create. Because they've been in these countries and these governments, that's who's created it. It's all one, every bit of it. And they've been there for centuries. You know, and these sons of bitches are very structured, disciplined, and callous, you know, cold-hearted, and but they're not totally just ruthless, even though they created everything we're in right now, from orphans, criminals, and slaves. And the rest of the people, they went and took their land, they locked them up, put them on drugs, told the people they're crazy, created stories, fictitious shit, because the orphans' minds are not, the people here saying, we're going to help you out. Well, what did they give them for literature, for anything? A lot of times they're like, look, you don't worry about reading it, I'll just preach the word, and whoa, whoa, whoa. And then eventually you grow into, generationally, to where you don't question God like they tell you. We don't question God. And then where you go to the school system, what do you hear? You don't question authority. So you come up out of those ashes, not questioning authority, not questioning God, always obeying, always complying. You know, because when you study like the monarch butterfly, how it goes through 3 generations when it's migrating, you know, from Mexico to Canada, or Canada to Mexico, it's going to go through before it even goes through 3 generations to get there or back. It's dying there too. How does it know where to go when it ain't never been there? How does it know like that? Because it's programmed with a code within its, you know, it's the same material you're made of. And when man, evil, looks at that and says, I can make God's creation, which is humans, do the same thing. I can make them do the same thing. And the same way those butterflies are programmed from God, Psalms 19:1 says, the heavens declare the glory of God, which everybody's turned their back on, is the same way all this has programmed us to accept all this through this by repeat, and then always, every land that has burned, it's there. Every land. Not one hasn't. And look at where we are as a nation. Look at where we are. Hang on a minute. You know, as a nation, listen, as a nation, look, I'm on fire right now, chill. As a nation, okay, all this is in here and it is driven over and over. This is what Satan does, if that's your thing, to where it becomes concrete. You've never questioned anything. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. You've always obeyed what has been there, because from day one, the programming, you know, this is, I mean, we're all generationally into this. And you look at me like I'm crazy. But one thing I'm fixing to write up here, you don't even know anything about. So out of those ashes, you create bloodlines of deficiency of the material that they're made of. And you create this. That's what the body becomes. Disease. Look at your society. If we keep going at this rate, pus is going to be coming out of people from what they consume. And they'll say, oh no, Matt, I got it. And it's insane. But that's where they are. Matthew 5:13 says, you are the salt of the earth. And if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith it shall be salted. That means you should know your 12 cell salts of the body. You got 12 systems of the body, 12 cranial nerves, 12 lunar ganglia in the solar plexus, 12 dorsal vertebrae. We got 12 constellations, 12 disciples. Each one of those goes with the system of the body, like your circulatory system, your muscular system, skeletal system, endocrine system, lymphatic system, male or female system, yada, yada, yada. And each one goes with a constellation, which would be your birth salt. That's the thing. He's saying ye are the salt of the earth. Okay? All right, look, I'm going to say this real quick. So, if you're Aries, you need Kali Phos. If you're Taurus, you need Nat Sulf. If you're Gemini, you need Kali Myrrh. If you're Cancer, you need Calc Fluoride. If you're Leo, you need Mag Phos. If you're Libra, you need Kali Sulf. Not Libra, Virgo. If you're Virgo, you need Kali Sulf. And if you're Libra, you need Nat Phos. If you're Scorpio, you need Calc Sulf. If you're Sagittarius, Silica. If you're Capricorn, Calc Phos. If you're Aquarius, Nat Myrrh. And Pisces, Ferrum Phos. And you just Google what I just said. If you really want to look into it, then it's what you're made of. And each one of those goes with the system of the body. You didn't know that, because let's go back to the ashes. They raised everybody, criminals, orphans, and slaves, with nothing to know anything. Because on there, it's space hour. Yeah, and then on there, they pushed the sodas and the Camel cigarettes, 9 out of 10 doctors. And then they forced our own bloodlines, forced them. I mean, guys, listen, you have no idea how much of this that you are knee deep into. Knee deep. And you just can't see it. Because from day one, this has never been activated. Ever. Everywhere you've ever turned your whole life is there to fuck you up. Everywhere you've ever turned. And that's